If you're a heating and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what does it feel like to be fired or replaced, and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Somerville, coming to you live from Sacramento, California on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and a fantastic day to talk about you. All right, so at some point, there's going to be an event that happens in your life, and I want to walk through what it feels like because I'm going to tell you right now, it's not easy. And I'm going to tell you from my personal experience. I'm going to open up the jacket and reveal things that have happened to me and things that I would do differently and how to prepare for them. Okay. So I have been fired. True. I have been replaced by somebody who was lesser than me. Super true. And I have been stabbed in the back by people who I thought were my friends. And the reason I'm bringing all three of these up is because there's a feeling of betrayal. There's a feeling of what's wrong with me, what happened to me. I thought I was doing good. I thought that I had the skills, the talents, and the capabilities. I thought so what happens is in your brain, you start stacking up here's all my skills, talents, and capabilities. And then here's all the things that have happened. You're going to try to justify things that just don't make sense. And so sometimes we accept responsibility for things that have nothing to do with us. Okay. So for me, I was in a role and I was replaced by somebody who sucked, right? The people on the team came to me afterwards and they're like, Scott, what up with this? Right? We want you. Scott, you're no, this is horrible stuff. And so it kind of hurt. It was wait a minute. Not only did I'm in my mind going, I've got all these skills, talents, and capabilities. I'm way better than this person. Now I've got people coming to me going, hey, what happened? So let's say that you're in a role and that you're in a task and you've got your things that you do. And the company comes to you and says, hey, dude, hey, chick, peace out, Girl Scout. This isn't working anymore. Well, there's going to be, most of the time, if you know you've been doing your job and you're good at what you do and you're not upside down on leads, it'll confuse you. Okay. So you go through all of this. What's wrong with me? Am I broken? Is there anything that I did wrong? Could I have fixed this? And then sometimes your brain's going okay, well, now you need to work harder to try to get their attention to fix what's going on. In all realities, you have to go through your grief the way that you're going to do it. You may go see a therapist. You may see a doctor. You may go to the gym. You may read some philosophy. You may go to church. Here's the thing. Whatever you decide to do, make sure that thing you do is healthy. And if you need mental help, there's nothing wrong with that. You should absolutely do that if that's what you feel like that you need. And for the couple $100 that it's going to cost you, it's super beneficial. It's super painful emotionally to go through a firing, removal of your position and get you pushed down, right? You were a selling tech before and then now you're not a selling tech, or you were a comfort advisor and they're pushing you back to being a technician, or you're just flat out getting fired. It hurts. It's painful. And then you end up with a ton of questions. So my thing for you is you can prepare for this earlier, but before we get there, you should absolutely join HVACtechsecrets.com. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. It means private coaching, private training, discounted coaching, discounted training, and occasionally I try to sell you stuff. So the path back for you is to get momentum. So I played football in high school and my coach would say, make sure to keep moving your legs, right? He was like, no matter what happens, you keep your legs moving. Okay. We're going to use that same analogy in business. So there is a moment of grief and oh my goodness, what happened to me? This sucks. This is horrible. This is the most worst thing ever, which is probably true. All those things are true. But your version of getting your legs going, your version is calling companies and saying, I'd love to come work for you. And remember, if you're even somewhat remotely good at what you do, someone's going to love you somewhere else. Right? Someone's going to be like, hey, we'll bring you in. We'll test you out. And here's the thing. There's going to be times where people look at your resume and they're like, hey, you're too qualified. There's going to be times where people look and they're going, hey, you came from XYZ company. We don't want you. And so remember, you got to keep your legs moving. That means that the activity of dialing and going in on job interviews and having conversations and taking some lumps. And that can be emotionally painful as well, because you're not only did I get fired, not only did I get removed, not only get replaced, now nobody wants to hire me, right? That's not true. It's our brain tells us these things and makes it complicated and makes it worse. Right? We hear bad news and we're like, let's multiply it. Oh, I got some I got some bad news for you. Oh, you do, Scott? Yeah. Well, it's at this level, but they're like, whoa, we should really make it at this level, all the way up here. You got to be careful of that, right? So if you're like, hey, Scott, how do I prepare to be fired, replaced, or any of those things? Be aware your brain's going to play tricks on you, okay? Find the people that love you. Have the conversations. Get some therapy. Go to the gym. Work out. Your brain's going to tell you illicit activities, whatever that means to you, okay? Your brain's going to tell you the stuff, right? All the adult stuff that's going to tell you to do. And I'm going to say, hey, look, be aware. You don't have to do all that. I'm not going to judge you. It's a tough thing to go through all of this. It's a struggle. And nobody talks about it. They're like, hey, let's talk about all the shiny things in sales and business and revenue and money. But at the end of the day, some point you are going to get fired. Some point you are going to get demoted. Some point you are going to get asked to leave. Somebody's going to take your spot and they suck, right? And I can talk to you about it all day long on film, and it's another thing to live it. There's plenty of resources out there for you. Please get some help if this happens to you. You got one of three things to do from here. Just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.